Hi, I'm Anne. Today I would like to show you how to make these makeup remover pads. They are in packs of 6 and they're pretty large. One is plenty for me per day. And since there's 6, I get from laundry to laundry really easily and I never run out of clean ones. I've made different kinds. I've made some with terry cloth backs, some with minky backs, and some with flannel backs. You could even cut up a towel if you don't mind sacrificing it. That would work great. Some of these I put batting in and I quilted them. And some of these I didn't add batting to. The minky ones I did not put batting in them. The ones without batting take me about 30 minutes a set. The ones with batting take about 45 minutes a set. And the with batting version is what I'm going to show you today. So let's get started. For the fronts of the makeup remover pads, I'm going to be using these pretty charm squares. You can use yardage, just cut them to 5-inch squares, 6 of them. For the backs of these, I'm using some terry cloth yardage. I cut to 5-inch squares, but you can use minky, flannel, a towel from your bathroom, whatever. And for the batting, cut these to 4.5 inches square. The first step will be to adhere these batting pieces to the wrong side of the front of the makeup pad remover. And I'm going to use spray based. I just take these batting squares and throw them in a box and lightly spray one side of them. Just do your best to center them within these fronts. And the next step will be to lay your fronts face down on your backs, get them centered on there, and then stitch just along the outside edge of this batting all the way around, leaving about 2.5 inches open for turning. And I use about a 2 stitch length for this. So when I do this, in order to avoid the tiny stitch that can poke out where you cut your stitch end, can poke out of the opening you leave, I start away from the opening and head towards it. And we are just stitching along the very outside of the batting. Then I turn around and come back. That way I don't have any stitch ends sticking out that opening. And now just following very closely the outside of the batting. Then, just like the way I started, I'll come in, turn around, head out, and clip my thread out here away from that opening. So then, trim your corners, be very careful. This project, for some reason, is very easy to accidentally clip your thread, so yeah, don't get too close. Then turn it right side out. And gently poke your corners. We're going to top stitch in a little bit of a rounded corner fashion, so don't worry about trying to get sharp corners. Just like that is good. And finish sewing them up. So once you've got them all sewn together and turned right side out, we're going to go to the iron and press these all nice and flat and make sure we get our seam allowance pressed under here in preparation for top stitching. So back at the machine, let's close up that opening. Start just outside of it and very close to the edge, an 1/8, a 1/16. Using a 3 stitch length, I'm going to back stitch and just make sure I'm catching that and closing it up. Then around the edges, I like to do a little bit of a round corner effect. And go all the way around the outside, back stitching when I get back to the beginning. So if you're doing a version without batting, at this point you'd be done. But since we have batting, we need to tack it down at least with an X across the center like this, back stitching at the beginning and end. I like to do a crosshatch effect, so I don't have a gauge for a foot with a gauge, and I don't want to take the time to draw out a grid. So I just cut this cardstock to 1 inch, and I'm just putting it diagonally from one corner to the other. And I'm just going to use this as a guide for my quilting lines. Just stitching on the outside of the card, back stitching at the beginning and ending. Okay, so you can see the cross hatching sort of on the terry cloth side. Very cute. I really like the cross hatch. I've done them with an X. They look just fine. It'll serve the purpose, and whoever I give it to will love either just as much. So go ahead and finish up, and I'll see you when I'm done. So take a look at the other videos in this playlist for quick gift ideas. You will find this little slouchy bin tutorial in there. And I'll be making a couple more videos in the next couple weeks for quick gifts. So watch for those, and thank you for being here.